Welcome to a new video in my home automation series, and today I'm reviewing a new Sonoff product, and probably you can read it here that it's the SenseGuard DW-Gen2. So it's the new SenseGuard series, so that's the name of the new sensors. So far we have seen a temperature sensor, we have seen a CO2 sensor, and also we have seen a PM2 sensor. I mean, these two sensors are combined with temperature, humidity, and either CO2 or PM2.5 sensors. So now we also have a window and door sensor, and here you can see all the previous models from Sonoff. So this is and these are all the Zigbee ones, because originally the first door and window sensor was a Wi-Fi one, which I don't have anymore. It stopped working for some reason. I think I messed around with the battery at some point, so probably I broke it. And then later this Zigbee model was released. So this is called the 04. And I mean, it was the same design as what all the other Zigbee sensors came out around that time. So it was sort of like a boxy, but you have the main unit, and you have the sensor or the magnet, and then a more rounded unit. So this is the 04P came out. So again, there is like a sensor unit and there is a magnet, and now we have this new one. So obviously the main difference that you see is that it's quite a different shape. It looks quite a bit bigger, and it also feels a little bit heavier, but that's mostly the fact that they have decided to move away from the coin cells, because the last unit used that really fat CR2477 cells, but this one uses two AAA batteries. So obviously this needs a little bit of space. I mean, the batteries probably take up this much space here, so there is not much else or complicated logic inside. And I can only assume that there was a lot of complaint about the battery life, so they decided that they are going to refresh with a new product which fits a much bigger battery, which is going to last longer, and probably is going to be easier to replace as well. I mean, that was only my personal comment, that I find it a little bit more difficult to purchase these 2477 cells as opposed to the most common ones like the 3032s. But I guess there is a reason why they have gone with a larger battery. Other than that, this new unit has exactly the same features, and it behaves the same way as the other. Obviously, it detects whether the window or the door is open or closed, and it also has a switch here, which is, I mean, it's called a temper switch, but that would detect if the unit is removed from the door, or maybe the adhesive gives away and it falls off from the door or the window. So at least you know that it's reporting that the window is open, not because the window is open, but it's no longer attached to the window. So that's actually a nice feature. Again, what you're going to see later in the video is that with the current version of the NS Panel Pro, which I use for testing, and also the iHost, which I use for testing, both of them are updated to the latest firmware, but they are not seeing this temper switch part of the sensor. So they work perfectly fine with the basic opening and closing function, but they don't see the temper. But when I use Zigbee to MQTT, I can see this temper switch and it works fine. So I would assume that we have to wait a little bit longer for some of the new firmware to come out, to be released for either of these devices, and that would also be supported. I already mentioned what the unit looks like. We also get this in this nice box, and within this box we don't really get a lot of things. I mean, we get a few set of double-sided tape which has a cutout for that temper switch, and we also get a user manual, which, I mean, to be honest, you don't need to explain a lot about the window and door sensor. I think the only thing is worth mentioning, for some reason my camera doesn't focus anymore, that the sensor has to be within 50 millimeters to detect that the door is closed, or more than 30 millimeters apart to notice that the door is open. To be honest, that's a quite wide range, to be honest. I think it's a much wider range than the previous ones, so you don't have to get so close with the sensor to the to the magnet to the sensor in order to work. The only other thing I would say that you might need to get inside of this unit, I mean, obviously at some point to change the battery, but if you need to reset it in order to repair it to another Zigbee system, then you have an opening here, and then you can pry the two halves together, but still there are a lot of tabs inside which means that it is actually quite difficult to get in. So yeah, I mean, you need a screwdriver or something, and this last tab takes a little bit of effort to let the top part go, but it actually does, and that's how you get inside. Oh, sorry, you definitely have to remove this because there is a small tab on the battery. So in order to get this working, you have to open up the case. There was a small tab here which you need to remove, and then it should be operational. And again, if you need to repair it or get it into pairing mode, there is this button that you have to press for like 5 seconds, and the LED is going to blink here. But I think I'm going to show an example of that later in the video. But other than that, you know, once it is done, you can just push the two halves together, and then it seals nicely. So again, needs a little bit of force and a little bit of fiddling around to get the bottom part removed and to get access to the batteries. But that's it. So in this video, I'm going to test it with the NS Panel Pro, which is here. I'm going to test it with the iHost, and also going to test it with Zigbee MQTT. And as you would see, it works with all of the systems. So, and it does all the functions, well, except of the temper thing, but I'm pretty sure that's also coming. So I'm happy. I think it's a nice device. The only thing I would say is definitely it is big or bigger than the previous models also, although it is thinner than the previous models, so it might matter in some cases. But if you have windows other than, you know, white windows, maybe it's just going to show too much. So you might have to be a little bit clever how you're going to hide it, but you have to figure out that for yourself. So I already added the window sensor to my NS Panel Pro, which you can see it here. So this is how the UI looks like. It shows that it's the window is open, and if I close it, then the window is closed. So this is what you can see in the small UI. And if I tap on it, I thought it displays in full screen and shows the history, but maybe it doesn't. So that's the NS Panel Pro. I mean, the UI hasn't really changed from others. And in the eWeLink application, you can see SNZB04PR2, and it is open, and now it is closed. And again, what I mentioned in the beginning of this video, even though we do have a sort of like a temper sensor, so this switch in the back, but it doesn't show up in the application, so not in the eWeLink application, or maybe not with this version of the NS Panel Pro. So that could be something that they added later. But then we see a battery status, we have a history, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And if we go into the settings, we are not going to see much here as well, or either. So there is a signal strength. We can change the location. We can show the scenes, or enable the push notification. So whenever the window is opens or closed, we'll get a notification. But that's pretty much it. But again, as I said, it's a window sensor, so this is what it's supposed to do. It does the job, and it has all the features that I would expect. And if I go into the scenes, and if I create a scene, then I can create a, not to tap to perform a smart device. So I can create a scene which is going to trigger if the window is opened or closed, which is detected by this sensor. And now I'm switching over to iHost because we are going to test it in the iHost as well. And actually, this is why the unit was sort of like disassembled, because I have to keep pushing the reset button. By the way, yeah. So that's where is the focus? So that's the reset button. And if you push, then the LED starts blinking, and that's how you get into pairing mode again. Yeah, that's it now. So let's head over to the iHost and do plus, add device, start the setup. And that was it. And then the new device is now added. And let's see how it looks like. Yep. And yeah, so I'm just going to move the magnet. Oh, I find it strange. I think previously it was just showing here that it's either closed or open, not that it's, you know, status changed and status not changed. I mean, I just personally find this a little bit less useful. But this one looks a little bit weird, to be honest. But other than that, we see the battery percentage, and in the settings, yeah, we can't really do anything else. We have additional low battery notification here in the iHost, but the rest of it is pretty much the same. And yeah, so if I close the window, no changes. Status change. So it looks like some sort of translation issue, because the status change actually means that the window is open, because if I get the magnet closed, it says no changes detected. It feels like that it's sort of like the type of binary sensor that you get with a motion sensor, which is obviously not something that is, that's not the case for here. And we don't get any information on the temper switch either at the moment. And so I'm wondering, I think it's probably going to look a little bit strange on the scenes as well. So if I try to add a new scene, and if smart device and the 04 PR2 detection, yeah. So I think this must be some sort of translation issue. So I checked the version, the firmware for the iHost, it's up to date. So I guess we just need to wait for the next version for this to get changed to either open, close, or something similar. But it definitely behaves this way. So definitely there are two distinct statuses. It's just that the name of these is a little bit weird. I wonder if you know, it would look correct if I have it set in the Chinese version. And we do have something which is removed, which is the additional switch that I was talking about. I mean, I always say temper, but it's, yeah, it would just shows that the device got removed, let's say because the battery needs to be replaced, or it has just fallen off because the, you know, the double-sided tape just wasn't strong enough. So at least we get a notification, although I don't see it on the UI. But yeah, maybe it's going to work anyway. So I'm going to say smart devices, and let me quickly set up something, and I'm going to make it to play a sound for, oops, for 1 second. I'm going to name it like that. It doesn't seem to be working. I mean, I'm pressing the button on this, and as you can see, it's not triggered. So I think it will get supported, but it's not supported right now. So just like with the NS Pen Pro, I'm assuming that there could be some update where this is going to be supported, because at the moment it is clearly not really doing anything. But I mean, otherwise we would have seen it on the UI as well, that you know, it shows something like a temper or a remove detection, but it doesn't. Okay. And now we are moving over to Zigbee to MQTT. So I'm just going to get it into pairing mode again. So I'm pressing the button, and yeah, it's blinking, so we just have to wait. And I've tested it already, so I know that it works. And as you can see, the new message, so the new device appeared. It's already showing the small logo and the icon for it. And yeah, there is support. It shows the correct part number, so 04PR2. And obviously it's an end device. And here in the expose, we see all the things that, I mean, you know, visually I could see on this device. So if I use the magnet, you can see that the contact changes. So it says either open or closed. There is a separate battery low indicator, but there is also a voltage, and it's going to take some time, but the millivolt is going to appear here. And also it's showing that 100%. So there is a percentage, there is millivolt reading, and there is a separate battery low indicator here. And the temper switch is also working. So you can see that now it says that the temper is clear. And if I remove my thing, so if the device gets removed from the door or the window, it says that it's tempered. which is nice. I mean, it's a nice additional thing, sort of like a validation that the device is working correctly. And in the oh, sorry, no, I wanted to show this state. So that's how the MQTT message is going to look like if you're using it under MQTT. So there's a battery low, a contact. So that's the one which changes depending on whether it senses the magnet or not. And the temper one is also changes between true and false. So yeah, we have all the important information here, and yeah, it just supports everything. It works nice. So I'm really happy that even it has better support in Zigbee to MQTT than the current firmware that I have installed on my Sonoff products at the moment. But as I said, I'm pretty sure it's going to change soon. And this pretty much concludes my review of this new Sonoff SensGuard DW-Gen2 Zigbee door and window sensor. If you are interested in this product, there is going to be purchasing links down in the video description below. But I think that's all going to be for today. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you in the next one.